Hello everyone, welcome to our weekly update. We're so glad to see you here. We're going to start off today the same way we have the last couple of weeks and do a drawing for our contest from last week. Now if you'll remember, we had you go onto our YouTube channel, Solex LLC, and find the weekly update from last week. We wanted you to like it and then leave an inspirational thought or an inspirational quote or something that you love as a comment. So we have a lot of entries here and we're gonna go ahead and draw right now. So drum roll, please. Sorry if I don't say your name correctly. I'll do my best. Okay, the winner is, I'm gonna read you what the quote says first. Don't let another's skepticism override your sense of direction. And that is True Bliss Solutions. Congratulations to you. Will you do me a favor, True Bliss Solutions, and give us a call? Just let us know your name so we send those Bluetooth transistors to the right person. Congratulations to you. Now we're going to talk about our top enrollers for the week of May 24th through the 30th. This was a big week. We had a four-way tie for our second highest enrollers. Four-way tie. So second highest, congratulations to Tracie Olson, Julie Melilli, Valerie Demerski, and Hannah Craig. Great job to all four of you. Okay, this is kind of crazy. Our top enrollers, same situation, four-way tie. I don't think we have ever had a four-way tie for the number one spot, but here we have it. Congrats goes out to Lisa Schermerhorn, Carlene Roberts, Barrie Fisher, and Lauralyn Connally. Well done, all four of you. You will all be getting a Solex silver coin. We will send those out tomorrow. If you have a tip or a trick you'd like to share with everyone and have it featured on one of these calls, we would love to see it. Please make a video and email it to solex@solexllc for your chance to be featured. Next, we're going to hear from Loran Swensen.
Hi, everyone. It's another Wednesday call and a whole bunch of good questions. I want to start with the question that's come in this last week multiple times is about the bracelets, the insoles, the different necklaces and stuff that we've been talking about. The question is what are they and when are they going to be available? What are they is an easy answer. They're made out of medical grade silicon that's been infused with two primary minerals and backed up with 70 some odd extras. But the two primary ones are Cybin and tourmaline. But they're both specific. Cybin only comes from a meteor deposit that hit northeast provinces of China millions and millions of years ago. And it cannot be duplicated here. They've tried to duplicate it here, but it hasn't been able to be duplicated. And it's a compound of minerals that are all readily available here in this earth, but somehow the radiation coming through the atmosphere or the cosmic effects of it traveling through space made it unique. And unique in the sense that it creates a very powerful negative ion field and far infrared field that are very compatible to our own well-being, our cells, our cellular function. The Chinese revered this mineral, and for years it was reserved for only the royal families, the Yellow Emperor for one. There has been studies done on it in China at different medical universities on how it helped regulate different aspects of the blood, saying that it regulated blood pressure and glucose levels and cholesterol levels. And we are not making any of those claims. We're just passing on to you the things that the Chinese attribute to this. So remember, that's just what they say. But if you remember the Olympics in 2008 that were held in China, China dominated every single event in that Olympics. And go back, watch some of the wrestling or the running or the swimming events. You'll notice that every single one of those wrestlers had either a bracelet or a necklace, and the swimmers, their swimsuits were infused with Cybin. And they dominated those Olympics, and it caused a little bit of a stir and they actually tried to ban it, but because it was not ingested, because it wasn't something that altered the chemistry of the body, they had to let it stand. Well, shortly after that, we acquired the rights to Cybin worldwide except for China. And we took that and we made our own bracelets, and we used the medical grade silicon and we infuse it in. Now the other one is tourmaline, and it's a specific tourmaline, black tourmaline to be specific, found mostly in China. So Cybin and black tourmaline, we acquired those minerals from China. And when you put those two minerals or those two compounds together, they create a self-generating rechargeable field. And all it needs to recharge the minerals back is about once every 2 weeks to be put out into the sun. And it can be raining, it can be snowing, it can be whatever. As long as the sun is up, those rays still come through the clouds and they energize those two minerals. The Chinese estimate that the half-life of the energy in these minerals when they're encased in an object like silicon or even ceramic is 70 years. So you buy it once and it's going to last you the rest of your life. That's the bracelets. The insoles are made out of the same type of material and have other benefits because of the way they're formed and the texture they have on your feet. And the necklace is, again, the same type of material. We also have ceramic beads, and that real soon you're going to learn about all the different things we can do with the Cybin tourmaline, not just the bracelets and necklaces. And you're going to know real soon when they're going to be available, and it is real soon. So just hang tight. And one thing that's really important when you look at these and you take your AO device is that they work so well, like a hand in a glove. You can program both those minerals and they hold the frequencies so well. So it's one of those things, one hand washes the other. Now, a follow-up question to the bracelets and necklaces is somebody asked, can you shower with your bracelet or necklace on? And if not, what do you lay it on? Well, the answer to that question is, yeah, you can shower with it. Actually, the running water is another one of those things that excites the minerals. So the water is good. But if you do want to take it off, you can place it anywhere except on top of a piece of electronics. So you wouldn't put it on your laptop or your cell phone or on top of your television. You just set it down on the kitchen or on your bathroom counter or on a nightstand. But you can wear it all the time. For me personally, if I wear it at night, I don't sleep well. My brain never shuts off. Or my wife, she wears it, she sleeps better. So we respond differently to the energies produced by these minerals. And you will find that as you start to wear them. But the key is wear them and then determine what's best for you. Okay, so another question that's come in is about pets. Specifically about pet supplements, how to use them and all that. So like we covered in last week's call, the pet supplements need to be loaded into your supplement library under their own category, pet supplements or pets or whatever you want it to be. And under that category, you would list your different supplements, whether it's Dynavite or Blue Buffalo, whatever the foods and supplements that you have for your pets, load those into there. Now, there's only a few things that we can do with that right now because pets is still a work in progress. Our goal is for this fall to be able to scan your pets, and that's when this is really going to be fully functional to you. But for right now, you can do your morning scan for your pet and just make sure that you have your pet selected in the target and then scan for their supplements. It'll let you know which supplements that you have loaded into the pet category. Okay, I hope if you go back and watch those, you'll see loaded in under its own category, and then when you do the quick scan on your pet, all it's able to do is compare your pet's frequency at that moment to the supplements in your library. Hope that helps. Another interesting question that came in, and I love interesting questions, so understand that. This one was, how do you project to an area using your Cepheid when you're not having that particular area loaded in as spaces and objects into your quick scan area, in your profile area? An interesting answer to that is a couple days ago, Hannah Craig sent me a picture of her in a baseball stadium holding up her AOScan device with the quick scan opened up to energy clearing. And her little caption stated, "Look, I'm clearing the negative energy here in the stadium." What a cool concept. Hannah, that was great. Thanks for sharing that with us. So that's how you can do it. You literally just, your energetic shield and your energy clearing can be used anywhere. They don't have to be tied to a person or an object. When you activate those, generally it's going to affect the profile at the top. That's what it was designed for. But it's also going to affect that whole area around you. So if you're going to do that a lot in a specific area, make that one of your objects and spaces. Load that in. But you can use that at any time, especially energy clearing and energy shield. It's a great way to use it. This next question deals with inner voice. And the question is, every time I do my inner voice, the music sounds the same. And the music will be the same. There are 6 different pieces of music at this point. It's not the music that's doing the work with inner voice. It's the frequency matrices underneath that music, and that changes every single time. And a lot of those matrices are above the threshold of hearing. The music's there just so that you know that the optimization is taking place. And it's soothing. But the real magic to the inner voice is not that music. It's what's behind the music. And that will change every single time. So when you go into your Cepheid and you hit playlist and you go in and you set up a playlist of all the inner voice octaves, which there will be 12 of them, and you set those up to play, you are literally playing the music with the frequencies of your last inner voice scan attached to those. So it'd be kind of like sitting down on Friday night and listening to last Monday's news. You want your inner voice to be fresh. Remember, in the past, I've told you, inner voice was the very first thing that prompted us to go into the mobile scanner, because we felt the inner voice was so critical that people had better control of their emotions. Inner voice is important. You can use it multiple times through the day. When you're sitting down, you're in a little slump, open up your device, go to inner voice, do your 10-second scan, listen to a few of those tracks, and know that what's behind the music is what you're needing. Try that and just feel how different you feel at the end of listening to 1 or 2 of those 3-minute tracks. But back to the question, yes, it will sound the same because the music is. But what's behind it is different every single time. Use your inner voice and use it frequently. The next question comes in from Leslie Ray, and it's a good question and some good insight. Her question was, is cardiac depressant and lymphatic depressant really a function of a depressed cardiac and lymphatic system, or is that just bad terminology from 100 years ago? The answer is yes. So let me explain. In keeping with the integrity of this particular set of frequencies and program, quantum reach or quantum frequency, those were the names that were originally associated with these frequencies. But in our modern terminology, those names would be different. And over the next few months, we will be modernizing the names that you see in quantum frequency. What cardiac depressant and lymphatic depressant, those frequencies are to stimulate the cardiac system and to stimulate lymphatic movement. Okay, that's what those are for. And some of the terminology in quantum frequency is a little cumbersome, but as we modernize those, you'll see that. But Leslie, that was a great question, and yes, it's just we need to modernize those words. Thanks. A follow-up question to Leslie's is from Amy Fisher, and her question was, should we interpret in quantum frequency lymphatic depressant to the same as in quantum reach lymphatic flow? Great question. Yes, but different. For example, the frequency set in quantum frequencies for lymphatic depressant is an entirely different approach frequency delivery to the body than lymphatic flow in quantum reach, both addressing the same type of frequency disruption with the lymphatic system, but delivering a completely different set of frequency matrices to address that. So yes, they do correlate, but they are coming at it from two different angles. Another question that comes up is, should I be freaking out and worried if a lot of red comes up in my vital scans and lots of 1s and 9s in my comprehensive scans? No. All you're going to do when you freak out is exasperate an issue that may or may not be there. So what you want to do is pay attention to the reds and the 1s and the 9s and acknowledge that maybe I need to make some changes. Maybe I need to change my diet. Maybe I should do a little bit more exercise. Maybe I should do my inner voice a little more frequently and get my emotions a little more stable. Reds, 1s, and 9s are there as indicators that we need to pay attention, make some changes, make some improvements, and monitor those and track them. Now, if those reds and those 1s and those 9s don't start to move and change, then maybe you want to go to another level. Maybe you want to go see your healthcare provider. Maybe you want to take it to the next level. But 1s and 9s and reds are just good indicators for you to pay attention and to make some lifestyle improvements. Okay, so for the last question for this call is, what's the difference between the Rife frequencies and the other frequencies that we utilize in the AO scan? Let me give you a little bit of history and background on Rife frequency. Rife frequencies come from Dr. Raymond Royal Rife. He was a researcher, a doctor, back in the 20s and 30s in the last century, about 90 years ago. And he developed what we now would refer to as Rife machines or Rife frequencies. But let me tell you how his started. He was commissioned by the hospital that he worked for to work on a treatment for children with cancers. And what he did is he took an X-ray machine. He took out, and I'm paraphrasing this down, but he basically took out the X-ray bulb. He made a new tube filled with 5 noble gases. That tube then was put back into the X-ray machine, and then he had designed basically a very, very powerful radio station that he broadcast that radio signal into the X-ray machine that excited the gases in that tube. And it broadcast those frequencies from his radio station about 16 to 20 feet, where that energy was very effective. Now, his frequencies weren't just a simple wavelength of radio frequency. You'll see when you look up Rife machines and Rife frequencies, you'll see frequencies like 770, 800, 880, 1540. But that's what he modulated a frequency at. A Rife frequency, his Rife frequency started with a 3.2 megahertz bass sound, okay? he pulsed that or modulated that frequency at these different 800, 880 different single frequencies. So he was pulsing it that many times a second. But he did even more. When that pulse came out, it created sideband frequencies for 11 different octaves down and 11 different octaves up. So it was a very complex set of frequencies that was being broadcast through this tube. And he theorized that that pulsation and the sideband frequencies, 11 octaves in each direction, handled the mutations of the different bacteria or parasites that he was working with. So Rife, a real Rife machine is broadcast only, not something that you would touch or hold. It's a broadcast. And his theory was that those frequencies would be able to permeate every cell in the human body. And he had some amazing successes with that. So a lot of machines on the market today are claiming that they're Rife, and they do have parts of the Rife technology. In other words, they are using some of those single frequencies. But if a true Rife session would involve a plasma tube, a very high powerful radio frequency that's being modulated in such a way that it creates the sidebands as well. Now, does that mean that the other types of devices out there that are using some of the modified Rife frequencies don't work? No, but they're not true Rife. Okay, big difference. Can they help us? On some level, yes. But whenever you touch a frequency, like water, electricity will take the path of least resistance, the surface of your skin. We don't want to do the surface of the skin with a real Rife broadcast. We want it to permeate every cell in the body. Like right now, where you're sitting, every cell phone signal, TV signal is permeating your body, whether you like it or not. Your Wi-Fi signals, they're all permeating your body. They're being broadcast through you. And that's how Rife did it then. And that's what a real Rife therapy is today. It has to be broadcast. Any other device is really an electrical stimulation of some kind, using some of the Rife frequencies. And yes, they can be beneficial, but it is not the same as a real Rife therapy. Okay, so some of the other things we use, scalar wave. That's something that Nikola Tesla did a lot of development on, and that's where you're sending a frequency through the atmosphere, through what he called the ether. And in the ether, there's really no time or space or distance. It's just there. I'll relate this to a prayer. If you decide you want to pray for someone, it doesn't matter where they are. They could be in the space station. They could be on the other side of the globe. When you utter that prayer, it's there. And so Nikola Tesla found, and Einstein confirmed, that you can send frequencies or energies or vibrations or resonance through the ether, through the field. And that is another one of the technologies that is incorporated into the Cepheid part of the AO scanner. We combine some of these things. Some of the modules we use combine them. Some of them keep it separate. And it's ever changing and ever being redeveloped. So that device you hold in your hand, that AO scan technology that you're using, will continue to improve as time goes by. Use it, get familiar with it, and like I've said in the past, become a product of the product. One frequency at a time.
You ready for a giveaway? We're ready to give you something. So what should we give?
How about some insoles and a bracelet?
Hey, that sounds great.
What if we do it for two people?
Two
So
people.
2 people.
Twice as
Perfect.
good.
Perfect.
I think
Okay.
that's great.
Okay, rules.
So I know. Let's do this. Let's We really got to get up our following on Instagram. So let's have everybody go onto Instagram. So you need to follow us on Instagram. If you're not there, you need to do that. Like our post from today, June the 2nd. And comment.
For double entry.
For a double entry. So if you like us, you'll get 1 entry. But if you comment, you're going to get two. So you get a second.
I like that.
You guys
Yeah,
like that?
that's good.
All right.
That's good. For 2 giveaways.
Thanks,
2
everyone.
chances. Go do it. Bye.
Bye.